Okay guys, welcome back here to Old Time Garage. As you can see, we got Mark's truck. It's out in the field here, so that must mean that we got the wiring all done. Darren did a wonderful job again. He's got the wiring all accomplished. It looks excellent. He got everything working that Mark wanted done. He got all the lights organized. He got all the winches hooked up. It just turned out beautiful. And what a better spot to film this truck than out here. Out here in our field where we keep all our old cars that are rusting in peace. Seeing how Mark went for that rust look on his truck, what better place than to give you guys a shot of it than out here. So that's it, another one managed to get done. We got it done, in and out, within the first week it was here, thank God. We're a little jammed up here this week. Darren did a wonderful job. Darren just does good work when he's very good at it. He made a nice bracket down underneath here. I don't know if you can see that, for all the light switches. He just cleaned everything up. I don't know if you can see underneath the dash. It's kind of hard to show you, but if you remember in the last video, wires are just hanging everywhere. Darren's just tidied everything up. Just did an awesome job. So that's it. Let's go check out what's going on in the shop in the background here. I hear Dave out there sanding away. We'll go see what he's up to. Lisa's here working on stuff also. Darren's off now on holidays for a week. Must be nice. Darren's worked for me for a year and I think he's already taken 4 weeks off. But anyway, he always gets the job done. That's all that matters. So let's go check out what's in the shop. Okay guys, I just showed you a second ago the Dodge International, whatever the hell it was, 68 International Dodge pickup, all done. We're working on Dean's frame here. And this is the same, this is 55 through 57 Pontiac, we'll say, same as a Chevy. And what's going on is that, obviously there's no weight on the vehicle. I shouldn't even say vehicle frame, because normally you'd have the body all in here, the motor, the tranny, you'd have weight, and it'd be a lot easier to get the coil springs in, which are massive. This is a factory coil spring right here, and you can see the height of that thing, and this has got one ring cut out of it. So his is another couple inches higher. Anyway, you cannot get the coil springs in these cars. It's almost impossible. Now there's several tools, actually give me 1 second here, behind the tires. Okay, there's several tools you can use. This one goes up the center of the coil spring. If you know what I'm talking about, you guys out there, you can rent these, you can buy these, whatever. It goes down inside the center. You got these that'll clamp onto the rings. You got these on the top, and you tighten it up, and that'll squish your coil down. The problem with this set of things is that the hole is so small on the bottom, underneath this control arm, is that when you go to get these out, you can undo this rod, and this will separate. The rod will fall out, but you can't get these out. The hole is not big enough. Then, you've got your other set of coil spring compressors like this. And what they do is they clamp on the outside, and there's two of them, one on either side, and you squish the coil up that way. But when you're done with that, you can't get these out either, because if you see on the other side of the car where I've got it together, there's not a lot of room in there to get these out either. Now maybe somebody has had good luck using this stuff, but I know for a fact this one you just cannot use. It will not come out. These, I can't figure it out, so maybe I'm doing something wrong there. But what I've done is I've grabbed a piece of ready rod, 3/4 inch ready rod. I got a long, you can buy these at the hardware store. It's like a long threaded, like a nut almost, and I welded a big flat washer on here, a big hunk of steel actually, really thick. and that turns. And what I did on the bottom half, I'll show you when we get it out, I put a flat bar on the bottom. So that fits up in between the arms. Now what you do on these cars is bolt your upper, if you've got it apart like this, I'm saying, bolt the upper control arm on, leave the bolts loose up here with your shims out. The reason I did this is because this is quite wide, so it'll fit down in there. Have your spindle bolted up. Leave this unbolted down below, if you can see this, where the 4 bolts are that go on. Now I'm running 2 longer bolts, one like that and one like this. The bolts that actually bolt it all together are only this long. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to suck it up with this till I can get the 2 nuts on there, and that at least will, I know I've got it stabilized by doing that. So here we'll go ahead, so you can see what's going to go on. As you see, now this might be a little difficult to do with this kind of thing inside the car, if the car was all together with the motor and shiny, because this might possibly hit something, I'm not sure. I'm just showing it for the guys that have a frame they're trying to get together, and they're trying to get these coils in. This is the answer. Because it's very difficult to put coil springs in a frame that's hollow, with nothing in it, with no weight. So we'll see where we're going here. We're getting close, we're a couple inches away. Now, what you should do to be really safe too, to be quite honest, I did it on the other side, I've forgotten here. It's a bad thing. You should leave a jack under here. As you're raising this up, this here, as you're tightening it up, you should keep a jack under here. So if the thing does decide to fly out, at least you've got something. But I've got confidence today that it's not going to fly apart. Okay, we're getting close. What I'll do is we'll shut the camera off here. I'm going to grab the jack and we'll show you when we get it to this point. And we'll be right back. Okay, so where I'm at right now is I went and got the jack. I put the jack under it. Safety, right? I always tell you guys safety first, so we put the jack under it. So, like I said, we got the longer bolts. These bolts are way too long, you can see, but I put them on there, just one on either side, just in case this thing decides to snap what I made or anything like that, which you can see it's pretty thick. I mean, I highly doubt it's going to snap, but you never know. At least it allows us to have a bolt on either side, and we've got our tool up through the middle, and we've got a floor jack here. So now the major trick now is just to keep tightening this until these finally reach up in here, then put your 2 proper bolts in, one on either side, tighten them up, and then the other 2 will just drop in. So that's where we're at the moment. I always like to double check everything. So, as soon as we get this tightened up, we'll be right back and we'll show you where we're at. Okay guys, so what happened here was you saw that we had these on there, which are way too long. They were just there. They were just there to hold anything in case it fell apart. It's always better to be safe than sorry. You could have done it without having these there. You didn't have to, but it's better to be safe, and the jack was there just to be safe too. So, like I said, we put these in. We got the arm up far enough to put these in, sorry. We got the arm up far enough to put these in. Then we still had to tighten our tool here. But at least I knew if something happened to the tool, if it was going to break, if it was going to fall apart, or something went fucking wrong, we still had these in there, which are going to help out somewhat. Because the last thing you want is a coil spring flying out again. So, get those out. There are other bolts in place. Remember, use grade 8 bolts when you're dealing with this stuff. Don't forget your lock washers. There it is. There we go. Okay. Spindles are bolted on. Now I didn't tighten the nuts up on the spindles on the upper ball joint, lower ball joint. I put them on so that just the thread itself was just coming through the castellated nut. I just left everything kind of loose. I left the upper control arm a little loose up top. So now what we do is that's all together. So now I basically take our jack out of here. There's no need for the jack anymore. Nothing's going to come apart. We'll just start threading this thing out. Now remember, there'll still be a lot of tension here because everything is still under. You can see the tension. Now they actually, this thing that I've made here, if you go online for 55 through 57 Chevys, we didn't know, a friend of ours, Daryl, who's really into these cars, he told us about this. He said that there's a certain tool that you have to buy for these cars to put the coil spring in. And this is the tool. Except they want $120 online, and we made it for like 25, 30 bucks. So, and it doesn't take long to make it. It takes you longer to run to the hardware store than it does to make the tool. And this is a good way to work out. Get your arms bulked up, make your wife happy. You know, maybe get yourself some tattoos like I've got. Don't get what Dave got. Dave got the ones that just wash off overnight. Isn't that right, Dave? I was just saying that this is a good way to work your arms out, make your woman happy, and I said that you could get some tattoos. Tattoos are nice if you've got some nice good looking arms, and I said don't get the type you got because they just wash off overnight.
I know, that's pretty damn shabby if you ask me.
Yeah.
Did you ask me?
No.
Oh, I guess I just volunteered that information.
You did. I'll take you down to my tattoo artist and get you a tattoo.
Right on my lip, and you know what it's going to say.
What's that? You. There's Dave and his antics. That's what I have to put up with all day. So, let me finish getting this off and we'll continue this on because I could be here for a good couple minutes. Okay guys, so this is the tool that I was telling you about that we made. So you can see it's a piece of ready rod. I bought a length of this. It's just threaded tubing. Right, this screws onto the ready rod. I welded some metal on the bottom of it, fairly thick, if you can see that, because this is taking all the pressure. So that's your top half. That's the part that's going to come up from the bottom of your coil, and you're going to tighten it. This is the other half. This is still the same threaded rod of a great big flat piece of steel welded on it. You can see the thickness again. It's just threaded on there, and then I put a cotter pin in there, drilled through, put a cotter pin so it won't go through. So this is the exact same thing that they're selling, that Dan Chuck is selling for $120. Not that I'm saying don't go buy theirs, I'm just saying that if you've got the time at home, you could build this for like 25, 30 bucks. And I'm sure some of you guys out there have probably already done this. But anyway, for those that haven't, that's what you need when you're doing 55 through 57 Chevys. Because it fits up through the hole, it works fine. So there you go. We've got it all together, you can see. And again, it comes up through the lower control arm, through the shock hole. So again, a quick revamp of what I did. Obviously you can see it's a bare frame. When you're trying to get coil springs in a bare frame, there's no weight. You're fighting yourself because you try and jack it up with a floor jack. If you want to do it that way, how can you? The frame's just going to keep flipping over. So I hooked up the spindle on either control arm. I put the nuts on just loosely, but they're on there just so the threads were coming through. I left the lower control arm unbolted off the frame. The upper control arm was bolted to the frame. This was hanging down like that because the coil goes on an angle on 55 through 7 Chevys. I put the coil up in the pocket, lined it up properly where it's supposed to sit. You put your tool up through here, you start tightening it up. Then again, like I told you, we had little longer bolts only for the fact that when we got it to that point, the tool is starting to get under a lot of stress, a lot of pressure. So we put a bolt on either side just in case the tool breaks. We're safe. We've got something in there to hopefully hold it for us. And of course you kept your floor jack under there. Then you just kept working your tool tighter until you're able to get your proper bolts in. One on either side, tighten them up. Take these ones out, put the other two in. That's it. Bob's your uncle. Out comes the tool. Or in Dave's case, Bob's his brother. So there we go, guys. Hopefully that's a handy tip for you. I'm not the greatest at teaching you guys something. Hopefully you understood what I was saying there. If you didn't, write to me. I'll try to explain it better. Okay, see you later.
Ain't always a good time at all time. It is. Always a good time at all time.
Oh, fuck. Just had to get that in there, didn't you? Where's your baby Dukes today?
I don't know, I think she's invited to work away.
Are you serious?
I don't know.
I don't